Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm Miles Jupp. In the news this week, after rubbishing the Rebecca Vardy camp's claim that a mobile phone containing vital evidence was accidentally dropped into the sea, one lawyer in the Wagatha Christie case enjoys a relaxing day off. In Windsor, eager to resume duties after suffering mobility issues, the Queen gets lost on a walkabout. And at a bar in Ibiza, there's suspicion that a man on a bell-ringing holiday may have boarded the wrong coach for his excursion to the local church. On Ian's team tonight is a man who loves intricate pieces of machinery, which he studies for hours to see exactly how they work. So, to save him some time, this... It's literally a bloke pulling a lever. Please welcome James May. With Paul tonight, a Labour MP who voted for Moldova in the Eurovision Song Contest. She also voted for Keir Starmer as leader. I mean, principles are fine, but would it hurt you to back a winner once in a while? Please welcome Jess Phillips.
I actually voted for Lisa Nandy.
We begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and James, have a look at this.
Oh, that's Sunak having a go at buying food, which apparently some people are finding quite difficult at the moment.
Now, that's the Weimar Republic being declared next week in Britain.
Yep. That's a piggy bank that I think the Governor of the Bank of England said was empty, but it was obviously full of old money there.
Steak going up, 99 cents. That's in case he forgets who he is.
It's a bit worrying for the economy that the Chancellor of Exchequer's seeking part-time work.
Didn't he used to work in Nando's, Rishi Sunak, at the beginning of the crisis?
He owns Nando's.
I think that's an old clip from Eat Out to Help Out.
Yes.
During the pandemic, but now obviously they've completely changed their tune because you've got to stay in and get another job and not eat anything in order to pay for your electricity.
Yeah, this is the news that quite a lot of things are quite bad. But let's kick off with the good news for Boris Johnson. What is that, then?
He hasn't been fined again. I think that is the limit of the good news.
The police have said their investigation into Partygate is over. He faces no further fines, sadly, or happily, depending on your point of view.
And what's yours, then?
Sadly. But at the same time, happily. You're watching the BBC.
I think for the sake of balance, we should say that the Labour Party have got no fines and the Tory Party have got 126. That's just balance so far.
I mean, it just makes us feel less fun.
But also, I mean, I think we should sympathise with the police because, they really haven't got time to investigate these fines. They're very busy, basically, arresting Tory MPs for assault. And they've got a lot on their hands, and I don't think they can do everything at once.
The statistics that you say, they are correct only at the time of recording, I suppose. I mean, how is Kirrygate, Beerygate going, do you think, Jess?
Well, I don't think he's going to get a fine, so I think he's probably going to ride it out. But it will be a monumental situation if the Conservatives and Downing Street end up with 126 fines and false invective from the Mail causes the leader of the Labour Party to resign. It will be in a ridiculous position, but I don't think he's going to get fined.
Well, again, in the interest of balance, Keir Starmer said, look, if he was found guilty, he'd do the decent thing. So he's obviously not fit to be Prime Minister.
Yeah,
I mean, thank goodness I'm here, or this programme would be pretty bloody left-wing.
Well, I mean, he's been very honest, hasn't he, Keir?
Who? The Prime Minister, for God.
No, sometimes the information's at the end of the sentence.
Oh.
As I say at a lot of family meals, please wait till Daddy's finished speaking. Keir Starmer has been honest, actually, about the beer thing. And who was it that finally made him come out with the truth?
Was it loose women?
It
Not
really
just
was.
any loose women.
You're absolutely right. He finally cracked on loose women under forensic questioning from Ruth Langsford and Linda Robson. Look at that, absolutely terrified. And Keir admitted there were 15 people at his alcohol-fuelled binge or drinks party, probably said in the invite, having previously said there were only 6 people. And what is the other bad news for Keir Starmer, possibly?
He's the leader of the Labour Party.
Well, Durham Police, this concerns, having said they don't retrospectively fine people for lockdown infringements, Durham Police have just retrospectively fined a woman £10,000 for organising a release of balloons in her father-in-law's memory.
But if Durham Police are going to do retrospective fines, I mean, wasn't there someone called Dominic Cummings?
To be fair, he was technically blind. He didn't know where he was going.
Back to things that are bad for everybody. What's one of the main bad things, then?
Inflation?
Very good, yes.
Inflation's 9%. And if you're watching the repeat, it's 10.
It is. It's rampant, inflation. But who is definitely not to blame?
I thought it was energy.
A lack of energy? The cost of energy?
No, the cost of energy.
I thought it meant just sort of general malaise in the population.
Can you explain this energy cap thing, which has been massively increased?
Yeah.
Yes. And at the same time, there are massive profits being posted by the energy companies, which some people are saying, your party in particular, I think that should be subject to a windfall tax. That seems incredibly convoluted. Why not just make the gas a bit cheaper? Is there a reason why you can't do that?
Well, I think...
Somebody thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but to be fair, you're working them with your foot.
The man who said he was definitely not to blame is the Governor of the Bank of England, Andrew Bailey. He said that he was helpless in the face of global shocks, which is reassuring to us all. How did he try and calm things down after being helpless?
He said the situation is apocalyptic. And then we all felt reassured.
I mean, would this be a good moment for you to say something reassuring to the nation?
I'm trying really hard. Oh, the Eurovision was fun.
Yeah. What a hoot.
What was the government safeguarding minister Rachel McLean's advice to people who might be struggling?
Don't be poor, was her advice. Stop being poor and...
Choose your parents very carefully.
We can have a look at her advice.
Over the long term, we need to have a plan to grow the economy and make sure that people are able to protect themselves better, whether that is by taking on more hours or moving to a better paid job.
Well, it's not crazy advice. I mean, that's why I asked if I could host rather than be a panellist.
I believe it's performance-related.
Inflation, then. Inflation is at 9%, the highest it has been since 1982.
Old as me.
Year of your birth?
Yes. It's 40 years old, like me.
Well, did everyone else have a good 1982? Your 1982, Paul?
I was living in a bedsit, measured 13 feet by 11.
You were huge in those days.
I was, wasn't I? It's amazing I could get through the front door.
What are you, James, 1982?
1982, I was also living in a bedsit.
Yeah, I thought I recognised you. You're the bloke who kept stealing my milk.
Ian never lived in a bed sit.
He's owned a few.
Well, if you mean a bed with a sitting room...
What's Liz Truss? What's she done wrong now?
The Northern Ireland Protocol, I presume, is what Liz Truss has done this week.
She said, we will rip it up. And then number 10 said, well, we might not. So we don't know what they're going to do.
The boss of Marks and Spencer's had something to say about this. He pointed out that quite a lot of the paperwork is in Latin, apparently, and he thinks that's absurd. And I've got to say, I'm a bit with him.
Yeah.
No, the difference with Marks and Spencer's is when they say something's oven ready, it is.
Whose fault is it all, really, then? Let's let the Prime Minister tell us.
Prime Minister, do you accept that the reality of what you're dealing with here in Northern Ireland today is a direct consequence of the deal you signed?
Yes, absolutely.
It's his fault.
Now then, the rise in inflation that we were talking about earlier, that has been linked to the war in Ukraine. Figures. This week, when asked about rising inflation, the Governor of the Bank of England said, "There's not a lot we can do." Fair enough, he is pretty busy at the moment, deciding whose face goes on the new £5,000 note.
It's Prince Andrew.
Boris Johnson is threatening to tear up the Northern Ireland Protocol. You know he's out on a limb when even the Daily Telegraph has given up trying to make him look good. Although, to be fair, he was just in the middle of having his prostate examined. Paul and Jess, take a look at this.
That's the Queen.
Looking cheery.
Looking cheery, yeah, very good Queen. And she's opening the Elizabeth line. Prince Charles and Camilla walking down some steps.
In Canada.
Yeah, book depository.
Gutted.
So let's say the Queen's Jubilee celebrations have kicked off.
It is. It's about the Queen is out and about again. Charles and Camilla are in Canada. The first televised event of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations has been broadcast, co-hosted, inevitably perhaps, by Alan Titchmarsh and Tom Cruise. One of the highlights was how the Queen reacted when Alan Titchmarsh started speaking. Let's have a look at this lovely moment.
For 70 years, there's been one constant heartbeat of this nation, and that heart belongs to Her Majesty the Queen.
I love her. I love that she's going to, like, look at horses because she likes them and she didn't bother to turn up to Parliament. Like, I love that she's just like, I'm only going to the shit I want to do nowadays.
Is a heartbeat constant or is it intermittent? If it was constant, it would be... like that. Yes. That would frighten the horses and the corgis, wouldn't it? Here she comes. Hope she's got some hay with her and a bonio. There must have been somebody else, surely, Alan Titchmarsh. Is that the best we can come up with?
It wasn't only Alan Titchmarsh.
It was Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, very much the Anton Deck of their type. What absolutely appalling blunder, this is unforgivable, did ITV make during the broadcast?
Oh, the commercials. They got a commercial in for an abdication company. Stage your own palace revolt.
Let's have a look. Look at that. Martin Clunes, captioned as Damien Lewis, OBE. I mean, they're not that dissimilar, are they? I suppose it's an understandable mistake. You know, who can forget that classic episode of Men Behaving Badly where Gary gets hanged by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard?
Why was Tom Cruise there? What has he got to do with the royal family?
Apparently he lives somewhere near there sometimes.
Huh? There's a rumour that he's moving to Birmingham. He came to Birmingham and his car got nicked. And I've got to say, the people of Birmingham felt pretty proud.
It was quite interesting that you had a clip there of the new Queen Elizabeth line, the first bit of which is just being opened. And Transport for London presumably gave the Queen an Oyster card so she could ride on it, which I thought was rather poor form, actually, because if I was the Queen and I approached the ticket barrier and they said, "Could I see your Oyster card?" I'd say, "Listen, subject." Yeah. Does one realise what this line is called? Of course I can get on the bloody train. It's mine, you idiot.
You think she's taking a ride to keep warm?
Yeah, that's it.
Now, to continue the fun, and it is fun, shall we play a game?
Yes.
Of what are they doing and why? You may already be shouting this at your television. Here's the first one. What are they doing and why?
Is it a book of royal horoscopes that says the Queen's going to be on the throne till 2032?
The answer is they are, in fact, looking at a cookbook together that they were presented with in Canada, prompting Charles to ask, is it 100 ways to cook a moose?
I am quite a fan of Camilla. I was presented with an award before I was a Member of Parliament for my excellent community work, and Camilla was presenting it to me. And my son was picking up things in Clarence's house because he came with me. And underneath everything, it says, like, from the president of Azerbaijan or something. And my son was like, they don't buy anything, Mum. Like... And she said, oh, you're right, we get loads of stuff and sometimes we don't like it. So in the garden, if you go and have a look in the bushes, you can see some of the stuff we don't like.
This is the last one. Here's the Duchess of Cambridge. What's she doing? Why?
Is she reliving her birth?
The fact is, I don't know what she's doing or why. Let's turn our thoughts now to Australia's Prime Minister, Scott Morrison. Here he is playing a children's football game in Tasmania. I mean, there's no decent reason for that. It was nowhere near the ball, nowhere near the action. Just,
no.
It's just mindless aggression. Not what we expect from that nation. This is the grand opening of Her Majesty the Queen's historic Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Over the last few months, the Queen has cut down her workload due to episodic mobility problems. Well, madam, I think we'll let the Department for Work and Pensions decide on that, shall we? One American tourist, Kathy Page from Massachusetts, said, I didn't expect to see her. That was a wish, a dream, but never a possibility. I came along for the ride and got the ride of my life. We were 10 feet from Her Majesty. She was exactly as I expected, with perfectly coiffed hair. She was perfect. It was a moment I'll never forget. I even made eye contact. The Queen, on the other hand, described the meeting as genuinely chilling. And so to round two, the one-armed bandit of news, fingers on buzzers teams. Here is the first one.
Oh, well done, that was quick.
It is Margaret Thatcher. They've opened a statue of her, which they've been talking about for ages, and somebody threw loads of eggs at it, and then a man stood next to it and sold the eggs, which Margaret Thatcher would have appreciated.
This is perilously close to being correct, to the extent of being so.
Where is the statue? Is it Grantham?
Absolutely, yes, the town of Grantham. A new statue of Margaret Thatcher. It was originally intended for Parliament Square, but Westminster Council rejected planning amid fears that it would attract civil disobedience and vandalism. At which point Grantham decided it wanted a slice of the action. Here it is being installed. Meanwhile, why has a bench in Aberystwyth caused a commotion?
Has it been painted a rather unusual colour?
No. The county council there have had to remove a memorial plaque that recently made the news. The plaque on the bench said, in loving memory of Hugh Davis used to sit here and shout fuck off at the scene.
Why would they remove that? I mean...
Perhaps the seagulls complained.
This is the statue of Margaret Thatcher. There's also a statue of Keir Starmer in Westminster. Oh, no, sorry, that is Keir Starmer. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here is the next one.
I've not been following this story at all.
Maybe.
So Wayne Rooney and Colleen Rooney and smiling barristers behind, but I don't know any more than that because I've not been watching it because I couldn't be interested if I tried.
Yes, it's the news. The Wagatha Christie case has drawn to a close. But do you know at all anything about it? What Jamie and Wayne, Jamie and Wayne, they're bickering a little bit over whether or not Rooney had told Jamie to have a word with Rebecca over her conduct at the 2016 Euros. Apparently she kept drifting out of position, moving seats during matches to appear more prominently in photographs, leading manager Roy Hodgson to tell deputy manager Gary Neville, to tell Wayne, to tell Jamie, to tell Rebecca to calm down.
Shouldn't be Michael Gove be involved in there somewhere?
We did, however, discover the name of Wayne's private Instagram account. Do you know what that is?
I love grannies.
Here's the exchange in court. The lawyer, I believe you have a private Instagram too. Rooney, yes, that's correct. Lawyer, is that Wazaroon08? Rooney, yes. The most depressing thing about that is that there were already 7 other Wazaroons. Also this week, Blackpool's Jake Daniels revealed he was gay, after which many ex-professionals rushed to support him. Rio Ferdinand said, massive respect. Gary Neville said, he's so brave, while Roy Keane added, I don't care, I bet he's still rubbish. Which means at the end of this round, Ian and James have 3, whereas Jess and Paul have 7.
Oh.
How come we haven't got anything?
Answer some of the questions correctly.
From a politician.
I've never been sued for libel.
Yeah. Yeah. Never said anything interesting.
Paul and James, shall I get us some popcorn? Time now for the missing words round.
Yes.
Which,
Yes.
this week features as its guest publication Keynote, the magazine of the International Morse Code Preservation Society. You can also check out their website, .com. We start with calling a man what is harassment, says tribunal.
Oh, I saw this. This is bald.
Calling a man bald is harassment.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment.
Is it?
Yep.
Can you allude to it? Could you, I mean, if you don't say bald, can you say, are you bald or is your neck blowing bubble gum? Can you say that?
I think that would definitely end you in a tribunal after...
Yeah, but it'd be fun giving evidence, though, wouldn't it?
The answer is, calling a man bald is harassment, says tribunal. This is the news that a tribunal has ruled that calling a man bald constitutes harassment. The man in question had worked for the company for 24 years and had an unblemished record. In fact, the only thing more unblemished was his shiny head. Next, to mark the 150th anniversary of the passing of the inventor of Morse code, David will be organising what?
A massive rave with Morse code-inspired techno-disco music.
I think it's his sock drawer.
David will be organising cups of tea with a dash of milk.
To mark the 150th anniversary of the passing of the inventor of Morse code, David will be organising a special discreet activity. The same article talks about a get-together for enthusiasts in 2021, saying everyone was just out to have some fun after being locked down for so long. If only they'd had some way of keeping in touch. Next, Welsh fish and chip shop celebrates Jubilee by what?
Creating a queen that looks like a...
Dylan the dog, what in Downing Street Garden?
Actually runs the country.
Oh, I read this. Gives out Lib Dem leaflets.
I'm going to give you the answer. Dylan the dog causes a duck to defecate on MP. In the Downing Street Garden.
What did he do, hypnotise it? You all shit on the nearest MP.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson's dog Dylan recently scared a duck, which then defecated on the head of Conservative MP Henna Davison. Carrie apologised, saying, sorry about that, he's incorrigible. He'll probably be humping your leg in a minute. And the dog is almost as bad. So the final scores are Ian and James have 4. Paul and Jess are this week's winners with 9.
Well done.
Before we go, there is just time for the caption competition. Ian and James have this.
Man finds several holes in Northern Ireland Protocol.
At last, the advantages of Brexit.
Paul and Jess get...
無邪気に見える知っていなければ信じたかもしれない一生あなたを愛せたかもしれないもしあなたが私を寒い中で待たせなかったらそしてあなたにも秘密があるそして最後に知らされるのに疲れたそして今私に聞いてほしいと言っているのですねだって前も
organising cups of tea with a dash of milk.
To mark the 150th anniversary of the passing of the inventor of Morse code, David will be organising a special discreet activity. The same article talks about a get-together for enthusiasts in 2021, saying everyone was just out to have some fun after being locked down for so long. If only they'd had some way of keeping in touch. Next, Welsh fish and chip shop celebrates Jubilee by what?
Creating a queen that looks like a pork pie.
Downing Street Garden.
Actually runs the country.
Oh, I read this. Gives out Lib Dem leaflets.
I'm going to give you the answer. Dylan the dog causes a duck to defecate on MP. In the Downing Street Garden.
What did he do, hypnotise it? You all shit on the nearest MP.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson's dog Dylan recently scared a duck, which then defecated on the head of Conservative MP Dehenna Davison. Carrie apologised, saying, sorry about that, he's incorrigible, he'll probably be humping your leg in a minute, and the dog is almost as bad. So the final scores are Ian and James have 4, Paul and Jess are this week's winners with 9.
Well done.
Before we go, there is just time for the caption competition. Ian and James have this.
Man finds several holes in Northern Ireland Protocol.
At last, the advantages of Brexit.
Paul and Jess get that.